Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Sunday, May 10th, 2020. Happy birthday, Barb. In both the Lynn life and the Jamie body mind, the authorized souls remain only child souls from the deeper, denser dimensions, and all other souls from all other dimensions, as long as the souls are already living by the many search for truth rules already given to the search for truth community by wiser minds above all of us. And those rules include looking up to wiser minds above and asking up, what now, to fulfill some facet of the soul plan. And it's important to mix up the wording. But for all of humans on Ground Zero Planet Earth, we have been told, everybody who remains breathing in this era, the prime directive is to stop the destruction in a fair and just way. Do something effective to stop the destruction in a fair and just way. And obviously each of us has specific skills and specific assets to bring to the table, and to assume that we are supposed to use those skills or assets somehow in this assignment to stop the destruction in a fair and just way. And so we have in these particular host lives interdimensional skills. That's the specialized skill, the most highly specialized skill set that we have. Both of us have other specialized skill sets, CPA skill sets, and theater directing skill sets, and theater production skill sets. A lot of performing arts background, Bachelor of Fine Arts from a very expensive private university. So we have this problem where humanity is destroying all life on Earth using tools sent in by the spirit worlds, and the problem is compounded because the spirit world does not seem to be effectively able to reach into the depths on large scales, but can, well, that's not true, in a way that the fantasy team fantasy acknowledges.
Yeah, that's right.
Because when it's kind of like a razor's edge balance, when too much of the life on Earth is destroyed, everybody in this dimension just pretends that that didn't just happen.
Exactly.
And we just kind of like peel away from reality one more level, becoming another fantasy zone of the astrals.
Exactly.
And so sadly things like asteroid strikes don't seem to be very effective. So even though we've seen godly presences talking over the idea of asteroid strikes,
that's right,
we ourselves, whoever's speaking now, whatever the soul is speaking now, and the soul feels thoughtful and like somebody who we should probably pay attention to.
I hear that.
We ourselves do not believe that that's an effective strategy, and we would all like for it to be an effective strategy, obviously, but it doesn't seem to work. And again, we refer you to all the experimentation done by Horatio Ivanov, and to the viewers in this dimension, don't get hung up on that name. That's the name that is used for him upstairs.
Exactly.
If you review many spiritual traditions, you'll find this presence by another name. And Horatio Ivanov has tested many, many, many ways of stopping the destruction. We think the element of in a fair and just way has gotten misplaced.
Exactly.
But stopping the destruction a la asteroid strikes is right down Horatio's alley, and sadly it doesn't work. We've watched it, and all that happens is all the psychic people feel sick for a day or two.
That's right.
And then the psychic people start to feel a little bit better, and meanwhile nobody else even seems to notice at all.
No, that's true.
For him is the message. Why do you ask? So somebody else, the microphone kind of just shifted, and somebody else in that room of angels and godly presences, who are none of them taking responsibility for planet Earth, but who are all discussing the outcomes for planet Earth.
That's right.
And seeing if there's something that they're willing to do that might improve the situation. And the idea of karma keeps getting pushed forward by somebody, and there have been many godly presences who have said that it's really problematic to implement instant karma for the worst of the worst, but that it might be possible to implement an accumulation of karma.
I hear you.
And that those are not the same requests, it's not the same pattern of behavior that would go into monitoring or implementing such a plan. And to really consider midterms, and to consider what it would be like to be taking a class where there's only one exam and the exam is the final exam, and if you fail it, bad things happen for a long time, and that there's no feedback whatsoever until the exam itself. And since there's no feedback whatsoever, you continue to make the same mistakes over and over again, digging yourself a deeper and deeper and deeper hole.
Exactly.
And to consider whether or not that's even a kindness to hold karma in abeyance. And somebody else is nodding with a kind of sad look on their face.
Yeah,
it's like, well, I can hear that. When you say it that way, I can hear that. Whoever the soul is,
yeah.
I can hear that. But it is not a kindness to delay the karma. Apparently there's been some conversation upstairs about it's being a kindness to delay karma. So then the hand is going up in the back, and it has a feeling of a whistleblower kind of hand.
Yeah, it does.
And they're asking a question, and the question has to do with how many or maybe what percentage of guardian angels have signed off on their life, their charge, and by signed off meaning I am formally divorcing myself from that situation, that life is refusing to listen to me, or refusing to allow me any input or influence, and therefore I'm done.
Yep.
And there's a significant section of the room that has that. It might be 20%.
20%.
Maybe around 20% of the guardian angels have just said, that's it, I'm done. They're not listening to me.
Exactly.
Forget it. I don't want my name associated with this project when I have no way to get through. And so those are lives that are clearly headed in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that's true.
And since there's not even any angelic attempts to get those lives to pull themselves out of the ditch, they're just going to be terrible. And when they die, as is inevitable, they're going to get the whole bookcase thrown at them.
Exactly.
So wouldn't it be a kindness to start with that 20% of humanity and just start to apply accumulated karma there? If instant karma for the worst of the worst is too tricky, then let's say, all right, how about the guardian angelhood who is not currently working to implement instant karma for those who request instant karma?
Yep.
Converge on that 20% of it's not abandoned lives.
No, it's like
belligerent beneficiaries.
Yes, that's what they're talking about.
Court. It's not divorced because it's like a parent or a child. It's like, we are done. Our connection is done. It's over. And what is it when parents say, "You're no child of mine"?
It's that
feeling.
We're disowned.
It might be disown, to own and to disown.
Exactly.
It might be disown. All right, so if the guardian angels are disowning those lives, then surely they should be fair game for an accumulation of karma, implementing an accumulation of karma. They've failed. They've all failed the class.
That's true.
And so they should be walking around with a big red F on their foreheads. They failed the class of life. And to do some smiting. Godly presences and angels do some smiting. They don't seem to like lightning bolts for some reason, but other forms of smiting are perfectly valid as long as it's clearly something that looks like the hand of God,
Exactly.
the acts of God.
Exactly.
How about that? Can we have midterms? Karmic midterms for the disowned lives who have been disowned because they're so belligerent and recalcitrant, not because the guardian angel has some personal situation going on.
Right, exactly.
Somebody says you don't have legal standing under divine law, and we acknowledge that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do. But we're still on the hook to stop the destruction in a fair and just way. And we're supposed to use our special skills, whatever those may be, to do so. And these are the special skills we have. We have these interdimensional skills that take super long time to develop. It might take 20 years to get good at this art.
That's right.
But you can start to practice it usually in about 5 years.
That's right.
I miss a message. Why do you ask? Well, we've got the request for the midterms. I don't know how to say it more clear. And what we're asking for, we think has been put on the table pretty clear.
I think that's true.
See if we can hear any response. They're just ignoring it.
Right. I don't feel any interest upstairs. I don't feel anyone interested.
There's some kind of guardian angel type who's stepping up to kind of explain to humanity, all right, children, here's what's happening. Is right now there's not a lot of interest in expending effort to help humanity in any way, shape, or form.
That's
humanity
true.
is viewed as a noxious weed.
Yes.
And something to be possibly eradicated. They're not sure about that because they don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. They really would like to be able to salvage somehow the comforts that have managed to accrue, and that means for their own benefit. They want to salvage it for their own benefit.
Yeah, that's right.
And so that they can use host lives to accomplish their goals that hopefully are divine goals.
Yep.
But this doesn't limit each of us as individuals. Each of us as individuals still has the option to try to make better choices and to really consider that divinity is real and karmic laws do apply, and that just because karma is delayed does not mean that karma doesn't exist. Karma, oh boy, howdy, definitely exists.
That's true.
And to consider that everything is recorded, God is watching, and there's no free lunch, nobody gets away with anything, and there is a balancing, and to try to live a better life, and to consider also the larger impacts of humanity on, they're saying on the land, I think they mean on the planet,
Yeah,
because the oceans also count, and the rivers and lakes and streams also count, so it isn't just land.
Exactly.
And they say, and riparian areas also count. They're just going on and on about the areas that count. But the point is that the planet counts, and that this is not humanity's planet to destroy. And think about it, if you had something and something you considered a lower life form, like, little monkeys or something, come in with hammers and start bashing your thing that you are interested in, how would you feel about those little monkeys with their hammers? Probably not great.
Yeah, not great.
So, being humanity, each of us as individuals can make better choices, and that's really the walk away. And just think about it, really think about it. This is God's planet. Humans are destroying God's planet. How do you think God feels about it? Just cut to the chase, right?